Hello everyone, and welcome back to Figure Review. On this episode, we're taking a look at the Toys R Us exclusive Money in the Bank cash-in, Seth Rollins. Now this Rollins, of course, represents his big win at WrestleMania 31 when he cashed in the Money in the Bank and defeated Lesnar and Reigns to become the WWE World Heavyweight Champion. Let's take a look. Right off the top, we have the gigantic Money in the Bank briefcase. Now, as well detailed as this is just too big. And of course, this is not a knock on the actual figure itself, but come on, Mattel. Can we get a scale this down by what I like to call 2 clicks? I mean, this is just it's bigger than his whole. It's almost as big as his waist to his head. I understand that this is probably went more along with this, the strikers type figures, where it's big enough for smaller kids, but can we get a collector's size Money in the Bank briefcase that's maybe more realistic in size? Because if it's smaller, then you guys don't have to spend as much on great big giant decals like this, you know what I mean? This is just gigantic. Well made, well detailed, but way too big. Get the hell out of here. And then, of course, we have the awesome figure itself, Seth Rollins. He's got the newer scan that I believe debuted in Elite 37. Very good in my opinion. Like the modified hair. I know this blonde streak in Rollins' hair is getting lesser by the month, which is kind of sad because that's one of his unique details, but so be it. He's got a torso that fits him pretty well. And then we have another highly controversial accessory here. It's the brand new network logo WWE Championship. Now, the controversy stems from the fact that this belt is all one piece. Now, let's go over the pros and cons, because I know there's a lot of people on both sides of the fence on this. On the pro side, despite what a lot of people would say, this is actually more realistic, because on the usual Elite championship belts, there's gigantic clips that make the plate sit in the belt. So from the back, the belt looks ridiculous because there's 1/4-inch pieces from the plates that stick through the back, and that's just not realistic. So as far as scale and thickness, this is more realistic than most Elite style belts. But because it's all one piece, all we get is regular paint gold instead of the vacuum sealed gold that you would see on the other plastic plates, and that is somewhat of a downfall on this. It's not shiny, it's not mirror finish gold on it, which would be fine if there's an alternate to this, but there's not. This is the only version of the belt Mattel has put out, and it seems like it's the only version we're gonna get. So either Mattel's gonna have to make a choice. Going forward, I personally think they should just make all the belts like this, so at least they look uniform across all lines. Or, I think something that would be cool would be to make the center plate a separate plate, like they've been doing, and then leave the side plates molded to the strap. Personally, I think we're just going to get all the belts in this style from now on, and if you don't like it, ooh, that's going to be tough cookies, you know what I mean? Because I like cloth shirts, and we don't get a whole lot of those. They went out the window, and I think the vacuum plate Elite belts are also going out the window in favor of the one-piece belts. So if you don't like it, you're going to have to get used to it. Now, my one is painted fairly well on this side. I really don't like that they can't figure out how to separate the red and the silver over here in the belt. I think that's an easy thing, especially, and this is super hard to see, especially when somehow they got the background of the lettering on World Heavyweight Champion to still be black, and then the letters to be silver. If you can figure that out in that small a detail, then you can figure out how to fix this situation here. Then this side, it's kind of sloppy. The red and the gold is just a mess in this plate. Pardon me, in this plate. And but the silver and gold everywhere else worked out pretty good. Another thing I don't particularly love about this is, while it is flexible, it's not very flexible. As you can see, there's zero movement. That's a downgrade in my opinion, but visually, it looks very nice in my opinion, and it's not a huge deal to me as long as it looks good. I mean, they'll never make a belt, in my opinion, like I would want, with fake leather and die-cast plates, so it has weight like a real belt. So if I'm not going to get that, then at least make it look good. And I think this belt still looks pretty good. And then, of course, from this pretty decent torso, we have the somewhat boring all-painted gloves. I really feel they could do something to make a glove mold that's... I mean, like, they have glove molds. I don't know why they don't use them as often, but so be it. And then from there, he's got the Rollins belt buckle. I have seen some people complain that he doesn't have a molded belt. I don't know if that's a huge deal personally, but I could see where you could argue that. And he's got the gold detailing on the tights, gold detail on the knee pads, front and back, of course. And then another little knock for me is I haven't gone back and rewatched it recently, but I know for a fact that later on in the year he had gold detailing on the boots. So the fact that there's no gold detailing at all, that kind of bugs me. I mean, something you guys know, you've seen enough of my channel, I can fix it, do a custom and fix-ups for you guys, but I feel like it should have came with it, because I'm pretty sure, I'll make a little guess here, we're not going to get another Rollins like this with the painted boots. This isn't Jax, you know what I mean? When they do an outfit, they usually do it once, and that's about it. Maybe a re-release here or there, but for the most part, one time for one attire, and that's about it. And that's not including, similar attires, like Triple H has 97,000 black trunks with white skulls. I'm talking about specific repeat attires. Do not happen too often in the Mattel line, especially in Elite. So, if they're going to give us the black and gold Rollins in Elite, I would like to get all the details in one go. But, what can you do? Now, what do we give this figure for a score? Good question. It's almost pretty perfect, but the downgrades to the belt, the oversized Money in the Bank, missing boot detail, all that stuff adds up. I think I'm going to have to give this guy a solid 7 out of 10. Where would it improve? Needs better paint apps on the belt. I'm not so concerned about the separate plates not being there, but that sloppy side plate, that's unacceptable for a $22 figure. The oversized Money in the Bank, let's bring that a little down for collector's edition figures. And as good as the face scan is, Rollins should really have had a smug or celebratory face scan. I know this is brand new, so I'm not completely not going to point for that, but for an exclusive that's $2 to $3 more than a regular Elite, I think he should have got an exclusive head scan for this figure. And the missing boot detail, that really bugs me too. So, solid 7 out of 10, not a bad figure, definitely an awesome figure. They also could have thrown in his shirt that came with the Elite 37 figure, that's kind of a bummer. So there's definitely room to improve, especially for the added cost. But, overall, I thank you guys for watching, and stay tuned as we venture into brand new territory on Figure Review. We'll be looking at the NECA 1966 Batman Adam West figure. Thanks for watching, everybody.